Now we move to adaptive radiation. Okay, so as in bio, there's a very simple and important thing which हमें सबको पता होना चाहिए, and that is breaking of words in biology. Now what is adaptive and what is radiation? उसे अगर हम break करके उसके meanings निकालेंगे and we put it back together, तो we can get कि इस term का मतलब क्या है. Adaptation to adapt, मतलब हम किसी सिचुएशन में खुद को जैसे अडेप्ट करते हैं, जैसे लेट्स से आप हॉस्टल में अगर रहते हो, सो यू अडेप्ट टू द न्यू एनवायरनमेंट जो घर से अलग होता है. और रेडिएशन इज अ टर्म जो फिजिक्स में होता है, बट स्टिल दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. रेडिएशन क्या होता है? रेडिएशन इज द स्पॉन्टेनियस एमिशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स और मैटर फ्रॉम अ रेडियो एक्टिव सोर्स. सो यहाँ पे एमिशन हो रहा है, समथिंग इज कमिंग आउट ऑफ अ पॉइंट, एंड अडेप्ट करने के लिए समथिंग इज कमिंग आउट ऑफ द पॉइंट. सो वी कैन डिफाइन एज अडेप्टिव रेडिएशन इज a kind of divergent evolution occurring in the same biogeographical region. Okay, in the same biogeographical region. So let's say कि you have a lot of friends. Okay, आप लोग सेम स्कूल में हो. So one day you decide कि we have जैसे पुराने टाइम में होता था, we will learn something out of the world. So you decide one will go to Africa, one will go to North America, one to South, one to Europe, one to Australia. So what happens is that you all came from the same origin or the same background as such, but when one went to Africa, he learned tribal languages. One who went to Europe, he had to wear a lot of woolen clothes. He had to speak European languages. One who went to Australia, he had a change in the climatic condition. In the same way, जैसे ही एक organism जो similar होते हैं, when they move to different biogeographical areas, खुद को adapt करने के लिए they change some or the other let's say structures or factors or characteristics about them. जैसे there's this famous example of Darwin's finches. Okay, Darwin's finches जो थे, that was discovered by that was named in honor of Darwin, who first founded these birds. Darwin, as we know, he did a voyage, or that's called a long journey in search of biological realization. So Darwin found out these finches in the island of Galapagos. Darwin finches were black birds which were found in Galapagos Island. Galapagos Island, if you don't know, it's a group of 22 small islands in the Pacific Ocean. It's near South America. So what Darwin observed was all these black birds, they were very similar, but the only difference जो इनमें था, that was of the beak. So, and he observed the dietary habits, मतलब these what these birds eat. तो उसे पता चला कि some of these birds, they feed on cactus, some feed on insects, some feed on fruits, some feed on seeds. So Darwin ने ये deduce किया कि all these organisms must have come from a single ancestor or ancestral stock, और क्योंकि दे मूव टू डिफरेंट हैबिटेट्स जहाँ पे फूड ये स्पेसिफिक थे, जैसे कैक्टस या इंसेक्ट या कोई स्पेसिफिक फूड था, उसे अडेप्ट करने के लिए उन्होंने अपना बीक स्ट्रक्चर जो है वो चेंज कर दिया. दिस इज द डार्विन्स फिंचेस. One of them adapted to seed habit, one adapted to fruit habit, one adapted to insect eating, and one adapted to, let's say, cactus eating. ओके, सो यही एग्जांपल है कि कैसे एक ऑर्गेनिज्म जिसमें देयर वाज चेंज इन द बीक स्ट्रक्चर, बीक स्ट्रक्चर डार्विन फिंचेस में चेंज हुआ अकॉर्डिंग टू व्हाट फूड दे वर ईटिंग. सो दिस इज व्हाट इज द एग्जांपल ऑफ एडेप्टिव रेडिएशन. There's another very important and very interesting example of adaptive radiation, and that is of Australian marsupials. Okay, example of Australian marsupials. Okay, example of Australian marsupials. So what are marsupials? Usually ये होता है when we are talking about mammals. So some of the mammals, they have a pouch on the front part of the body, or which is known as marsupium, in which they keep their young, not properly developed offsprings till they gain the developed stage. तो जो ऑस्ट्रेलियन मार्शुपियल्स होते हैं जैसे कैंगरू, कोआला, वॉम्बैट, दे also are an example of adaptive radiation. They all evolved from a same ancestral stock, और because उन्हें different habitat में रहना था, जैसे let's say the koala spends most of its times on trees, या कैंगरू लैंड पे ही रहता है, और लेट्स से द फ्लाइंग फ्लांजर वो एरियल है ऑलमोस्ट. तो उन्हें डिफरेंट एनवायरनमेंट में एडजस्ट करने के लिए, अडेप्ट करने के लिए, दे रिक्वायर्ड डिफरेंट लेट्स से स्ट्रक्चर्स, और उन्होंने अपने आप को स्कैटर करा अपने हैबिटेट के बेसिस पे. सो दिस इज द दिस इज द ऑस्ट्रेलियन मार्शुपियल. इसे इजीली याद रखने के लिए इफ यू गिव इट एज एन एग्जांपल इन एग्जाम्स, तो यू गेट प्लस पॉइंट्स फॉर रिमेंबरिंग दिस. तो इसे याद रखने के लिए आई विल टेल यू अ ट्रिक, एंड द ट्रिक इज दैट ऑफ M M B B T T K K, and then there is W and S. So if you want to remember it for a lifetime, you have to take this method, that is M M B B T T K K and W S. This will help you to retain it for longer time. And let us decode कि इसका मतलब क्या होता है. ओके, सो ये है हमारे ऑस्ट्रेलियन Australian marsupial, and we'll start with the M we are talking about. So M here is marsupial mole. उसके बाद the next M we are talking about is the marsupial rat. Okay, so M and M is done, marsupial mole and marsupial rat. Now we move to the B here. B, the first B is bandicoot. Okay, which comes from actually an Indian word. I guess that's from Tamil. The word bandicoot has been derived, and the next is of banded anteater. Okay, banded anteater, bandicoot. We did M, marsupial mole and marsupial rat. B and B, bandicoot and banded anteater. Next we move to T and T. What is T? T is Tasmanian wolf and Tasmanian tiger cat. Okay, Tasmanian wolf and Tasmanian tiger cat is TT. Now we move to K. K is koala. Koala is a very favorite animal of most people. And there's kangaroo. The land of kangaroos. That's Australia. That's how Australia is known as. Okay, kangaroo. Now, since these two letters were not matching, I have put them together. And W stands for wombat. जिस पे एक cricket bat भी named है. And then there is the last one, sugar glider. I've actually rearranged, जो NCERT में दिया हुआ था, I've rearranged so that I'll have you'll find it very easier to remember if though words are very similar in the starting letters. M, B, B, T, T, K, K and W, S. So जो ऑस्ट्रेलियन मार्सुपियल था, यहाँ पे let's say ancestor, उससे ही such a diverse group of organisms evolved out of it, so that they could adapt well in their particular habit or habitats जिसमें वो रह रहे थे. इसका एक और एग्जाम्पल है, दैट इज ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलियन प्लेसेंटल मैमल्स. ऑस्ट्रेलियन प्लेसेंटल मैमल्स इज जैसे हमने मार्सुपियल्स के बारे में बात की, वैसे ही प्लेसेंटल मैमल्स वो होते हैं जिनमें द ऑफस्प्रिंग इज कनेक्टेड विद द प्लेसेंटा एंड इट डेवलप्स इनसाइड द मदर्स बॉडी टिल द कंप्लीशन ऑफ द जेस्टेशनल पीरियड. तो यहाँ पे जो ऑस्ट्रेलियन प्लेसेंटल मैमल्स है, दे ऑल्सो डेवलप जस्ट लाइक द मार्सुपियल्स, ऑस्ट्रेलियन मार्सुपियल्स. Okay, so what happened was that they also developed the Australian placental mammals, or the Australian marsupials also developed in the same continent. So in a way what happened कि दोनों की ancestry जो थी that was very different, but क्योंकि many of them shared a similar habitat, उन लोगों ने convergent evolution दिखाना start किया. So we see here both divergent and convergent evolution working. Let's say this is the common ancestor. Okay, common ancestor से we get mole. we get anteater, we get mouse, we get lemur, we get flying squirrel, we get bobcat, and we get wolf. Okay, we get wolf also. So these these are the placental mammals. These are the placental mammals. Or now we will talk about the marsupials also. Let's say this is the common ancestor, or we'll have the marsupial mole, then we have the numbat, then we have the marsupial mouse, we have the spotted cuscus, we have the flying phalanger, we have Tasmanian tiger cat, and then the last one we have Tasmanian wolf. Okay, so these are the marsupials. These are the marsupials and these are the placental mammals. दोनों में ही adaptive radiation हुआ था. See, they are radiating from a common ancestor outward. They are also radiating from a common ancestor outward. But ये हुआ because they ended up having the same kind of environment. कि जो habitat में वो जो पहुंचे वो जिस kind of habitat में वो बहुत ही similar थी. So what happened was इनमें we found convergent evolution. Okay, तो ये यहाँ पे we had a divergent evolution. Okay, यहाँ पे we had a divergent evolution. यहाँ पे again we had a divergent evolution. And in this case, in the middle one, क्योंकि दोनों की ancestry अलग थी, so we can tell कि बीच में they converged और यहाँ पे एक evolution हुआ which is known as convergent evolution. यहाँ पे we can also tell कि there was a parallel evolution. क्योंकि these organisms were evolving parallelly into adapting same environment में adapt करने के लिए they were evolving parallelly at the same time period. तो इसलिए इसे parallel evolution भी कह सकते हैं and convergent evolution. और यहाँ पे दोनों तरफ से divergent evolution हो रहा है. Okay.